schedule.
Yes. We try to like last year, we had a lot of success. 17 wins. We're right on the cusp of getting a regional berth. We were one game away. A lot of improvements. A lot of young guys stepping up. Um, so we decided this year, what's best for us is to schedule early in the preseason hard to challenge us, but also to schedule the season two with with a team from every classification that plays quality baseball to kind of get us ready for tournament time.
What are some of the most memorable moments? I know this is your fourth or fifth season now.
Yes, fourth. Yeah.
What have you noticed as some of the more memorable moments for you?
Man, it's been a lot. There's been a lot of highs and there's been a lot of lows. I think the highs, though, are starting to outweigh the lows. Just coming here and trying to, it's not just a program to me, it's a brand that we're trying to establish, a brand of baseball that I think that this high school can produce, that I think this area can produce. It's been very exciting. Year one, COVID, we only got 3 games, so we had 11 seniors that year. I think that year would have been special. That senior class was bought in, was doing everything right. We went 0-3, but it's 2 district games and a 1-0 game against Union County, and one of our pitchers, Austin Pemberton, alumni, actually pitched a one-hitter, and we lost 1-0 against a very good Union County team. To go to the next year, to have a year that was a program building year. Not the amount of wins that we were looking for, but we probably played one of the toughest schedules in the state. I had several different coaches from the area just asking me, like, what are you doing? I said, I got a lot of young guys on this team. They need to see what quality baseball is. We're going to challenge them, and it's going to pay off on the road on down through there.
Yeah, I remember that year coming in. One thing he did as a special team senior, he did your team only. He did last year's seniors as well.
Yes.
And still one of my favorite moments of that one was Matt.
Yes.
The home run, his last at bat.
Yeah.
I don't know what you were going through, but I know I got that picture.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. Like, I saw your profile picture the other day, and it literally is Matt's home run swing. And I thought about that moment, how big that was for us just as a program. Going to the next season, finishing off that class that built something as far as work ethic for us. That's really helped establish this program last year and going into this year.
Talking about this year's team, so far you played 8 games. What was the schedule like? What made you think about this schedule?
Well, early on, I'm from the Tri-Cities. Played at Daniel Boone High School. Then I went and played 2 years at Brevard College, and then transferred and played 2 years at the University of Pikeville. Then I coached up there for 2 years as an assistant coach for UPike staff. Then I came back and decided I was actually going to go into the military. I was going to go in the Air Force and try to do combat control, the special forces for the Air Force. So I came back and was training for that and got hooked on and the love for CrossFit and as a competitive thing. Well, it blossomed into, going to the gym, running a CrossFit affiliate. And then I built that CrossFit affiliate, but I knew all along I wanted to coach. I wanted to be in baseball. So I started health and strength and conditioning with David Crockett, which is our rival, which is crazy. If anybody knows the rivals here, us and Oak Ridge or us and Anderson, everybody considers rivals. It's not something you see every day for a Daniel Boone boy to go over and help Crockett, but I started helping with their strength and conditioning and knew that that's what I wanted to do. They had a coaching transition. Actually interviewed for the head job. My best friend got the job, asked me to be assistant. I said, hey, of course, I want to be in baseball. So I started coaching at Crockett as an assistant, and a lot of long days. So at that time, I was going in my master's class too. So I was getting up at 3:45 a.m., driving from Kingsport to Johnson City, which is about a 45-minute drive, teaching a class at 5 a.m., teaching a class at 6 a.m., training myself because I was doing CrossFit as a competitor, training clients until about 12, then turn around and doing another second session because I was doing it competitively, then leaving to go to Crockett coach, then leaving Crockett at about 3 or 4 and heading about 5 o'clock and heading all the way to Bristol. and doing a 3 to 4 hour class at King to get my master's. So the doors opened up after that season. Some people took notice of the work that we'd done at Crockett and the special season that we'd had there. A lot of kids that are still close to me, I still text. That staff, Spencer Street and Ryan Berger and Jordan Atkins and all them, like like they're just a special group to me. So got the opportunity to come to Clinton. And what's funny about Clinton, when Casey Taylor was here, actually came and recruited kids for the University of Pikeville here. So got the opportunity to coach here, and it's been a wild and crazy road for me and my wife and my 2 little boys. So, but I love it.
Yeah, I know you've made some big changes. One, the room we're in right now, this is one of the best lounges I've seen in any of our sports.
Yep.
We're also in the field house, which you named after some of our alumni. Tell us a little bit about why you named different places after the alumni.
I think that's special. That's something that the University of Pikeville does a really good job of. They really take care of our alumni. Like, I'm an alumni there, so they do a good job of any time that I take athletes up there, whether it's football, basketball, baseball. I'm always greeted with, "Hey, Rob, how's everything going?" Like, it's not just from the people that are the admin position and the coaches. I mean, that's teachers that taught me. And I took that lesson in how it feels like home. One of my good friends in college, it's a singer, Nick Jamerson, plays for the band Sunday Best. He has a song that's called "I Want to Go Home." And, man, that song kind of hits my heart because I used to watch him at a little rundown place downtown playing on the guitar, and now he's on CMT and Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that. When I hear his song play that and I go up to Pikeville, man, it really feels like home. And that's something I wanted our alumni to have, that feeling. So we've had alumni games. You know, the field house originally was named after Coach Alvin Taylor, but there's a little sign out front. So one of the first things I did came in, I put a big sign out there because, I mean, the contributions he did for this high school and just the things he did for teaching, the things he did for this community needed to be recognized. I put Gene Owens on the press box, who was his longtime assistant, actually head coach for a little bit. And then I put Stacy. He played here and was all-state in basketball and baseball. He also, the hitting facility that we were blessed with, it's about $40,000 to $50,000. Him and his dad are the ones that helped bring that to this high school.
Yeah, I can remember both Gene, Alvin, and Casey. Casey was head baseball coach when I went to school here, and Alvin was actually one of the admins along with Gene. They were all admins when I was here, so this brings back a lot of memories to me as well. Now we're going to talk about this season. You started off with Sullivan East. We did give Dragon Vision Player of the Game to Jackson Stiltner.
Yes.
It wasn't the best game that you had, but it was a really good start against a very tough team that you know personally.
Yes. I mean, Sullivan East is known for baseball. Like, if you talk to anybody in the Tri-Cities and you said, what would you tell me about baseball teams in the area? Their name's always in the mix. They've always had quality teams. Coach Brenninger up there has done a fantastic job. Christian Taylor, who's their assistant, is a very good friend of me. He's their pitching coach, does an unreal job. He's going to be head coach one day. They're also known for basketball too, so it's kind of like almost the same kind of school, you know. But playing them, their kids know baseball. They've got baseball IQ, and they're always going to play you tough. You know, they went to state last year. They came and beat Anderson in the sub-state game, 1-0 at Anderson last year. So I was like, we need to schedule somebody like that so our guys can see what we have to do if we want to get to that point.
And that wasn't a bad game for the team. Kept it close.
No.
For a while, it's just one inning. It seems like it's one inning in each game that'll
yes.
either give it to us or take it from us. Sevier County was the next one. You
Absolutely.
had to go play Casey Taylor
yes.
and Bubba Owens.
Absolutely. So Lance Hamilton there too. So that was special. I mean, me and Casey have become really good friends, and I can't thank him enough for his mentorship. Just like his dad comes around and Gene comes around, like, I love listening to coaches who have experience, and I try to gain something from them and their experiences and ask questions because, again, I want to grow as a coach as well. So there's been a lot of road trips I've been with Casey, and I just ask questions nonstop. I'm sure he's like, man, I wish this guy would just shut up. But he we'd been trying to work out a game for a while. We were trying to work it out at the end of the season so we could both prep to go to district. And what's funny, that day we had a game get canceled because of weather, and I just put out a tweet And I was like, man, our guys just want to play baseball. And I kid you not, maybe an hour later, Casey said, he said, hey, what you doing today? And I was like, trying to play some baseball. He's like, well, I got something worked out up here if you want to come up here and play. And I said, we're in. I said, just tell me where to be. He said, you don't even know who you're playing yet. And I said, yeah, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the Yankees. I said, we're going to show up and play. Our guys just need the work. And Casey got a kick out of that. But we got to go up there and compete against them. They're also known for baseball. And that's the kind of teams that we like competing against, putting our guys out there so they can see what a quality brand of baseball looks like, so that when they go back to their program and here and work it, they know what they need to do. They know where they need to go, and they know what their goals are.
Yeah, unfortunately for that game, we hadn't started Dragon Vision yet. We were getting it ready, but for the next game was Maryville Christian. And I know how close we are with Maryville Christian, considering who their coaching staff is.
Absolutely. So not only is Griffin, who was our assistant last year, he's actually co-head coach now with Andrew Sylvester, and Andrew's a good friend of mine too, and he's the other co-head coach. And Griffin just actually got named assistant athletic director there. So I couldn't be more happy. He asked me about the opportunity. The job came up, and I said, tell me what you need. I said, I'll make the phone call. I will do whatever I need to make sure that you get this position, because I know that he wanted to be in a school working with kids and coaching baseball, and I couldn't be happier for him. But they're doing a fantastic job over there in Blount County. You know, a small private school. They're working their tails off. They're upgrading facilities. You could tell with the games that we played, they're playing much better brand of baseball. They're competitive, and competitive in a good way. They're very tough. Like, their lineup competes. Their pitchers throw strikes. They play sound defense. They're not the Maryville Christian of a couple of years ago. And actually, Mikey Weaver is actually the one that went over there and kind of got that program started, who was also a middle school head coach for us. So we've got some special ties to Maryville Christian, but I couldn't be happier to see where the program's going. And we've played them 2 tough games, and we came out on top. But, I mean, our guys just competed, and theirs did too, and we were just fortunate.
Yeah, that first game we came up here, we'll just skip ahead to the 7th inning. It's 1-0, bottom of the 7th. That was our first broadcast. We had Colby Holbrook and Andrew Weeks on it. The first time they'd ever done anything.
Yeah.
That bottom of the 7th, we were all excited. We were hoping something was going to happen. What were you thinking? And especially when we first started off with 2 sacrifice bunts after getting the first runner on, I believe it was by a walk.
Yes.
I know how you are with that. You called 2 sacrifices. What were you thinking on that third, with the third guy out, or fourth guy, with 2 outs up?
If anybody that's listening to this, that's my teammate from college, they know that small ball is not probably who I was when I played, but also at the same time, I knew that small ball in certain situations would help put us in a position to win. So as a coach, I want to put our guys in the best positions to have success. So we harp on that a lot. We do a lot of bunting in practice. We're getting ready today after this do some base running, because we've got to improve there. We did a fantastic job last year. We stole 169 bases. Connor Moody stole 49 and set the record. We're actually just getting done talking today with Tennessee Baseball Report. We're actually in the record books now for a season for stolen bases. But we've got to improve on that. Yeah, like if anybody knows how I played the game, they would laugh if they saw like how I coached. But I know just watching the game of baseball, studying it, and seeing what the top college programs do, like Vanderbilt and Tennessee and South Carolina, when it comes down to crunch time, their guys know how to execute, and that's something we always preach. I think I tell the guys every time they come off the field, compete and execute, compete and execute. If you compete and execute and do the little things will add up to big things. Right. So
that was the first win of the season. It was 2-1. You could see the joy on all the players' faces. You could hear it on the broadcast.
Yep.
Everyone was excited. Finally got that first win. Then you go up to Scott for a doubleheader. Region or a district game.
District game.
Because in football it's region. That's what I usually do. But this is district for baseball. Doubleheader in the same game. First game.
Yeah, we came out and we just weren't ready to play, to be honest with you. And the guys were telling themselves that in the 4th inning. They're just literally telling themselves like we just didn't come ready to play, and I think that's what's different about this team is that they have they recognize when they're doing something wrong or what they need to improve in the game, and they actually make those adjustments before I ever say a thing. They decided, we're trying to do something special, and they competed. But hats off to Scott. I'll be honest. Some people are going to be a little shocked when they play them because Coach Carver up there has got a couple players that have grown and matured, and they put the ball in play. They don't make errors, and their kids have a belief now, which their kids last year, you get them down and they're kind of out. Like their kids actually compete inning after inning. And I was very impressed with what they did. Second game, it was more of what we expected, how we need to play. Then we came out victorious. But yeah, I mean it's a district game, so district games are always going to be, or never a pushover. So you can't. It's something I have to tell the guys. Never look at a district game as something that's given.
Yeah, district game or rival game for that
Or rival
matter.
game, yep.
Rival in any sport, you can't assume you're going to get blown
No.
out on either way. It's always going to be close. But in that second game, player I wanted to talk about in that one was your starting pitcher. 12 strikeouts.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a double-digit strikeout game from a high schooler in I'm not sure how long.
Yeah. So he got 12 Ks, Dallas beats, and I had a talk with our coaching staff, and I said he will be the biggest surprise of the year, and I can promise you that because I've watched his bullpens, I've watched his work ethic in the weight room, I've watched his demeanor change. I have full confidence. When he's on the mound, I have so much confidence in our team. And that's not to discredit our other pitchers. Like right now, our pitching staff, they had a terrible game in that first scrimmage against Oak Ridge, 13 walks, and Coach Turpin came in here, and I thought he was going to just quit that day. He was so frustrated, but he went to work. We made bullpens very competitive, and the guys responded. So we haven't had, I think a game with more than 4 or 5 walks after that. I mean, we've been putting up 1 or 2 walks a game, and that's a hats off to Coach Turpin. Clay's doing a fantastic job. He's a young coach, upcoming. Again, another guy going to have a shot at being a head coach. But yeah, the guys responded big time.
Yeah, and Dallas Beach was our player of the game for
Yes.
that one. There was no question on that game. Next game, we had a little bit of a shakeup. We were going to play Carter there, and it was a last-minute change. You ended up at Carson Newman. I know you got a couple players that are being looked at by Carson Newman. So
Yes.
What do you think was going through their mind? You've played in college. Now they're going to a college stadium.
I was talking to Coach Armstrong. He played for Coach Griffin at Carson Newman during the day, and he was like, my field's a swamp. And I was like, man, I could try to get ours ready, but it won't be any better. And I just texted him back. I said, you think Griff will let us play there? And he said, let me work on it. And I kid you not, maybe 5 minutes later, he's like, we're playing at Carson Newman. I was like, that's what I thought. Coach Griffin at Carson Newman does such a good job of providing and helping local high school coaches out. I cannot talk. He is a mentor of mentors. Fantastic coach, fantastic program. For him to bless us, to let us play at their facility, and let our guys be in that atmosphere, and let Carter's guys be in that atmosphere, it was amazing. I was so tickled to death. The guys were tickled to death. The outcome wasn't great. The game was great. We played – both sides, I think, played fantastic. It's just they made a couple more plays than we did and got a couple more clutch hits than we did. And Harrison pitched his butt off. But, we've got to – in those tough games against teams like Carter's – in TBCA polls 3A, they're ranked 8th. And it's not – people were kind of thinking, that bunch was going to be down. They've got a bunch of young guys that compete. And we didn't come out with the victory, but I think we came out and got better that game.
Yeah, 4-2 losses, nothing to shy away from against a top 10 team. Your only losses this year have been to a top 10 teams. We'll just
Yes.
put it that way.
Yes.
Sevier County, Carter, and Sullivan East.
Yes.
Sullivan East, like you said, I actually watched them in state last year.
Yeah.
They were good in state. It's one of those you love to watch them play.
Yeah.
Then we come back against Gatlinburg Pittman. I don't know what you did to the team of Gatlinburg Pittman, but we couldn't think of the words to say watching that first game. 15-0.
Yep.
perfect, almost near perfect game by Nick Kidd. He actually wants us to call him Nicholas when we're on air. But I mean, that was a great performance by him. A one hitter, only 3 innings, but still, you couldn't imagine that. Then you had Isaiah Slavin with his first home run of the season, or career actually.
Yeah. So I mean, we went to work on BP. We talked after the Carter game about like in tough games like that, we have to adopt the approach that we're preaching every single day in batting practice, and we have to believe in it. You know, not 1 through 9, 1 through 20 that's standing in the dugout. 1 through 20 has to have the belief. And they decided, you know what, we're gonna try this out, and they outperformed what I thought they would do.
Yeah.
So,
When we came up, we gave Isaiah Slavin and Nick the player of the game. You were talking to us. You were a loss of words on it for that one. Andrew Weeks called Isaiah Slavin's home run right before it happened. I know you've gone back and listened to it. He saw it happening.
Yeah.
We had Ethan Martell, another big former player that came in,
Yep.
who during the alumni game surprised everybody.
Yep.
And out-hit the entire team on the
he
alumni
did.
game.
He did.
He's going to try UVA wise. I hope he makes it. I have the confidence.
I think he's gonna be very happy. He's getting an opportunity to play football again at University of Wise, and another Dragon alum that's doing things that people didn't expect. But that's what we're trying to instill in all these guys, and the culture and the program and the high school here. We're trying to empower young men and young women too to do things that they might not believe themselves until they're in that situation. Then they get that belief, you know, and that's something our teachers do a good job of. Our admin does a good job of building a good culture at our high school that kids can come learn and grow, and not just academics but athletics too, and have futures that they never dreamed of. And I think that's important for us as teachers and coaches to provide that for them.
And then you talk about women. We've got Sarah Burton at UVA Wise, didn't get to play this year due to an injury, but
yep.
but she redshirted. She's still got 4 years. You got Belle Starnes that went down to Maryville. She redshirted
Yep.
as well. And then you got, for the men, you got Jackson
Garner.
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, we can't say enough about him after last year's 60 made threes, third most in the conference this
Yep.
season.
Yep.
Third most points on the team. Started all but 6 games his freshman
Yep.
year.
Devin Monroe at Bethel.
You had Dodie Truss and Jeremiah Lavelle.
Yeah, Connor Moody is up at the University of Pikeville playing baseball.
I know you're not happy for him being up there at all.
No.
No, then you got now Jackson Stiltner after just before the last game getting his first offer
Yep.
from Pikeville.
Yep.
Which is huge for you.
Yes.
Before that, we're going to go back to the next.
Nick Kidd has an offer from Kentucky Christian, and
Good
he'll have a couple more coming his way. But the thing is, the reason these guys are getting opportunities or offers is they're doing what we're asking them to do in the school and the classroom, which is giving them opportunities to go at the next level. And that's something we talk about all the time. Is like, it's not your baseball talent, it's who you are as a person and what your work ethic and what your makeup is. If you can answer those 3 questions with an A+, and then do your part and do the best you can on your grades, a lot of opportunities are going to come your way.
Oh yeah, that's what Coach Keith harps on him as well. It's like, your grades aren't here, you're not going to make it to the next level. First thing they're going to do is they're going to call. They're not going to ask about how you're doing on the field. They're going to ask about your grades. They're going to ask about how you are as a person.
Absolutely.
They're going to go ask your family how you are.
Absolutely.
And that's what's going to make you or break you when you're looking for an offer.
Absolutely. Couldn't be more proud of all those athletes that we got.
And then Saturday. Let's just go to Saturday. Long drive down to Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
I thought the wind was going to blow us off the road 100 times, especially when we got on the field. We got the Dragon Vision set up bottom of the first, but we got Game Changer set up in the top of the first. What were you thinking? You walked out there, you see the 60-mile-an-hour winds.
I said, boys, if you just get it in the air, it's gonna be tough on anybody. So it was not just tough on our defense; it's tough on theirs. But we also ran a couple balls out. Harrison Shelton, Jace Mack, and Garrett Lee all getting their first home runs. And I mean, here's the truth behind all that is, like, those would have been home runs at our place. But they were mammoth home runs there with that wind blowing the way it was. So
yeah, we were up in the press box. We were thanks to the Gatlinburg Pittman coach letting us be in the press box to call
Brett.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
You could hear the wind whistling between the net and the window. I'm
Oh,
not sure if it came
100%.
through over the microphone. We were trying to get it to come through, but it was so loud. But it was fun to watch that game, 30-10. I don't know how many records we may have set or we did set in that
Yeah,
game.
it was wild. It's definitely wild. And they're a young team. He's got. I don't think he's got too many juniors or seniors on that team, so they're going to be competitive in the next couple of years. And I would say by the time those young guys are seniors, these tough losses that they're having, they're going to pay off. And that's something me and Brett talked about. I was in the same boat when I first took over these guys. But yeah, the guys offensively just decided later we're going to show up.
Yeah, 30 runs, 26 hits, no errors.
Yep.
You had.
I think that might have been my favorite parts, the no errors.
Yeah, that's always your favorite. Because even in the alumni game, whoever was keeping scores, won't mention any names, Slavin.
Yeah.
Gave up about 13 errors on the two teams combined in the alumni one. And all I could hear is, I didn't realize the ball was that fast. And I know what settings you were putting it on.
Yeah.
But the final game we had so far was – actually, no, that was the last game of this week. Then we had Maryville Christian yesterday.
Yeah.
And I know we reverted back to a couple of the things you've been trying to break on them, but we still ended up pulling off the victory 2-1. Harrison Shelton.
Yep, Harrison went out there. Buddy, I mean, he is just, he's a workaholic. People don't realize it's like on a Saturday, was it Saturday or Sunday? I came out here, I'd say 6 or 7 o'clock at night to clean up the trash and get everything ready for the middle school game the next day and drag the field and everything. And I'm turning around and then I see the facility open and I'm like, man, it's 7:30 at night. I didn't open that facility. I walk in and there's Harrison sitting on a bucket getting ready to hit. And I just smiled and I was like, man, I mean, I've got guys like, Jay Smack asking me for keys to come hit before school starts. Jackson Stiltner getting here early to put in work. Slavin always is putting in work. Slavin comes on Saturdays and Sundays early. Sam Rayleigh's always asking for extra ground balls. These guys are just they're getting it. They're getting what their goal is, and they're trying to push themselves past their limits to get to those goals.
A couple of your freshmen that I've seen personally putting in work, Camden Britton, doing a great job on varsity and on JV.
Yes.
And then one of my favorite ones I saw, Gideon.
Yep.
Came in right before his summer tryout with Maryville Christian for summer ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not kidding. He put in probably 300 swings in there using multiple of the drills that you taught him at one time. Not doing one, but he was doing multiple, and he wouldn't stop. He wanted to get the perfect swing down before he left.
And I think that's like you asked me highlights for the past 4 years. I think that's the highlight that I'm loving the most, is seeing that the young guys in our team are adopting to do things outside of practice to make themselves better players. And it's, I'll even give you another example. Connor Moody coming back and taking swings in winter fall break on the facilities open. Blake Lowe, I think he can come back and hit. He's one of he might have an opportunity to play in college. It's those things that I look back and go, we didn't win a ton of games. I give TG daily sometimes to understand what it takes. Like, hard work gets you past everything.
Before we do the play of the week, so we're going to talk about this coming week. You had 5 home games in 4 days.
Yes.
This is going to be a big tournament. You've been talking about it on campus, but now we actually have time to go a little bit deeper in it right now.
So, it's a Clinch River Challenge. Several different host sites. You've got Bearden, Clint, Anderson, Union County, Carter, Grace. We're all hosting games, and it's 26 teams. And it's all the way from Illinois to Kentucky to Nashville. Like, we've got some really good baseball that's getting ready to happen this week. Thursday, we kick off against Campbell County at 7, so it's going to be a good game. I encourage everybody to get there early because the Bearden Sweetwater game before us is going to be extremely good. Sweetwater is one of the better 2A teams in the state. Bearden is one of the better 4A teams in the state, so it's a good matchup there. Friday, we get Carter at 4 o'clock. Then we play Lakeway Christian at 8. That's another marquee game for us in the tournament. Lakeway Christian's playing unreal right now. They're one of the better private schools in the state right now. They've done a great job up there in building that program. Saturday, we get to kick off against East Ridge at 11. And then Sunday, we get to play Bryan Station, Kentucky at 1 o'clock. So It's if you want to watch good baseball, get on Twitter, look at all the games. We've made a bunch of graphics for each host site. Another host site that I didn't mention, Central, they're going to have some good games too. Central's playing really good baseball right now for 4A. Just really excited about this week.
Central's cousin played back in the mid 2000s, and I still remember talking to Casey.
Yeah.
Oh, we mentioned my cousin's name. He's like, yeah, that's the only player we couldn't get out in all or in baseball.
Yes.
Because just the way that they trained him, he helped to run Chattanooga. Because they're good club team. He has their club team, and some of our football players on it too.
Yep. Yep. Chase Lockard playing for UT clubs.
Yeah, you were mentioning the team the two teams out of Kentucky were playing on Saturday and Sunday. I know you got some ties to both those teams too.
Yeah. So the teams from Kentucky, a couple of those guys. East Ridge is from Pike County. We've got another team. We've got 3 teams actually from Pike County. Belfry, Kentucky, Pike Central, who was my college teammate, Will Ward, coaches that team, and I love seeing Will just have success. He's such a hard worker, man. I surprised him when I took some guys up on a visit. I showed up at his field, and he was out there working with his guys. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And then East Ridge, that's another Pike County team, and then Bryan Station. They're coached by Eric Hagen. He used to be Georgetown's coach, and he coached against me when I was at Pikeville playing. And his teams were always well prepared, played very tough, did the little things right. So I know that we're going to have our hands full with any of those teams.
And that's going to be a good one. We're going to have all those games on Dragon Vision. And we've got we know that Colby's going to commentate most of them. I'll do a little bit, and then we've also got some others that want to come in and help us out because everyone's starting to hear about Dragon Vision. They're all enjoying it.
Yep.
Now we go in now to our players of the week. We've done our players of the game, but for players of the week we do pitching, we do hitting, and we do fielding. I'm going to let you go ahead. We'll start with fielding. I know we've had a few errors in a few games, but for the most part, we've had some really clean games played.
Well, me and you talked about it the other day, and I told you, Isaiah Slavin. He's done a fantastic job at first base. He's when we pick off and he whips that thing around to second base and it's right there in the spot we need it. Last night, the double play was on his throw. He's definitely defensive player of the week.
Definitely. Yeah, those pickoff moves. He had a couple of those last night too. I talked to Harrison about it afterwards. He said him and Turpin have been working on that.
Yep. Make
sure he got the turn to strike. You caught several of them in a pickle. Only one of them went against us on the pickle.
Yep.
It was timing.
Yep, timing.
But for the most part, we've got that one down.
Absolutely.
And now we got batting. We've had several people. Right now you got 3 batters 360 and above on their average. For batting right now, I think it's Harrison Shelton.
It's got to be Harrison. Harrison was in such a slump, His preseason was, and I'll just say it, if Harrison was sitting here, he'd want me to say it was not good at all. I think he was 0 for 15. So, but again, he's such a workaholic that he came in here and he busted his tail and he did the things that we worked on and the things that we asked. And I told him, I said, all it's going to take is one hit, for you to piece one ball. And he was on a tear this past week, 6 for 11, first career home run, several doubles, stolen bases, RBIs. I mean, just a big help in all of our wins.
Yeah, he's your team leader right now in batting average. He's got 8 stolen bases, 5 for 6 alone against Gatlinburg.
Yep.
I was like, wow.
Yep.
That one, I was up here with Jackson Stillthurst, and we said right in the middle of the game, on air, we said it's got to be Shelton.
Yeah,
There's no
100%.
question.
100%.
Even though Garrett Lee, you can't deny him 4 for 5 in the same game.
Yep.
With his first career, Chase Mack also went wild. You had freshmen that were getting their first career hits.
Yep.
But we're going to go away from the awards for him. My favorite at bat was Freddie Dorsey.
Oh, 100%.
I don't care if he struck out or not. That was the loudest I've heard. Yeah, I think we've got some of the Gatlinburg fans.
I think they were too.
Well.
I think everybody there was excited to see Freddie get his opportunity to respond.
I don't mind it.
Yep, absolutely. The best part is Freddie didn't go back to the dugout like super excited. He came back. He was frustrated. He was like, I had an opportunity to hit right there. Like I should have hit that ball. And I was like, Freddie, just keep working, BP. It'll come. So,
You see, Slavin had the biggest smile. on
He
his face.
did.
Everyone giving him hugs when he came back in. That's still the most memorable moment. And coming up, probably right before the next game, we're going to have probably pretty much like 5 to 10 calls from the first one to Dragon Vision.
Yep.
And just see how it goes. I guarantee you Cody's is going to be there. I don't
Oh, I
care
guarantee
if
it.
it's a strikeout. Even when we got him to pinch run, we'll cheer for him and that hurts.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, the last few years, we have had
I would have to go with Nick. He's had his 12 Ks here. He's had 2 great outings. But Nick, not only did he have a great outing, he did it next to too. So not only did he go out there and pitch a great game, but he was being a warrior for us out on the mound. I couldn't be more proud of him. Yep. Yep.
You can see it in his face. He can look up there. He can joke around, but as soon as he knows it's game time, that's when it's 3 hours or 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
He's already in the zone. Don't talk to me. I'm in my zone. I'm ready to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's who Nick is. Like if you get Nick on your team, it's just somebody that is a great teammate, a joy to have around, and in crunch time has the seriousness enough to step up and do what he needs to do.
Players are really just looking. Nick Kidd, as a pitcher, Harrison Shelton, batting, maybe he can keep it up. We'll see. Last time we were out, we got a home run. We'll see what we can do this time. And then Isaiah Slayton.
Yep.
Put that work we've done in a long time. So we'll wrap this up. What do you want to say to everyone before we wrap this up today?
I mean, if you're getting an opportunity to watch this on Dragon Vision, I am so blessed and thankful for you guys tuning in. Again, this has been a journey for 4 years. I truly enjoy being around this team. This team is, every day I come with a smile. I know that they're going to put in the work that they need to. It's hard to get frustrated at them because I know they're giving their best effort. But come out to a game too. So if you've seen us on Dragon Vision, come out to a game because you'll get to experience and feel that camaraderie that we have with this team. Yeah, so we're going to have the alumni game, alumni day for our alumni against Scott County. I don't know the exact date. I know it's a Monday. I think it might be, yeah. And that's also going to be senior night. So it's going to be special. The seniors get to meet alumni, the alumni get to meet seniors. We get to have just a ball that night against Scott in a district game.
And any alumni that want to come in, if you guys want to talk on Dragon Vision, you can come out there with us. We love having people. We got Ethan Martell.
Absolutely.
We had Coach Locker come out and help us out drilling the first pitch. And he actually called and told us, watch for Nick. The same game that Nick threw the complete game shutout on that one.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
we want as many alumni to come out that game, help us out. Do this. If anyone wants to come out for JV games, we can help with them too. We have 2 great players.
Yep.
3 of them called the game, but we have 2 that stood out more. Of course, Harrison Shelton and Braden Hensley.
Yep. I think we're going to have some good play-by-play coming up. I know that Skip McMillan wants to join in on it. Skip has some very good experience at the ACC and SEC level, so that's going to be really cool to listen to him do play-by-play. I'm sure Alvin will be up there at some time, and I'm sure Gene will come up there at some time, and I think that'll be a very fun experience.
Yeah, I think we can get him to come
Yep.
out here and talk about it. I guarantee he would love it. He has nothing but positive things to say about this.
Yeah.
So once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in inside the Dragon Vision. This is our first episode. We'll be doing more for the rest of the year. Probably maybe either every Sunday or Tuesday.
Yep.
We'll do Dragon Players of the Week at the same time. But thank you once again for tuning in. Dragon Vision, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Maybe tonight. We'll see you on Thursday for the next baseball game. We'll try to do a softball set up here.
Yep.
That'd be a great one. Play Dragon Vision also. Play Dragon Vision on a huge win last time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in to Dragon Vision, and we'll see you next week.
Go Dragons.